come back!
Greetings, I'm VULKK. Dynamic encounters are a new style of short planetary mission in Star Wars: The Old Republic that you can stumble upon while you're out questing. They're quite similar to area missions, if you remember those. Rather than picking up these missions from an NPC or a terminal, dynamic encounters exist out in the field on your map. All you have to do is reach the marked location and the objectives will pop up automatically. Everyone can see all currently available dynamic encounters on all maps and anyone can complete them, though they're only available for a set time. As old events expire, new ones become available. At the time of this publication, dynamic encounters are exclusively available on Hoth and Tatooine. Hidden chain invasions are happening on several other planets, but more about them later. Most dynamic encounters are doable by both factions, and some are faction restricted. All of the dynamic encounters are easy to solo, at least at max level. However, some are more time consuming to do alone, and just because an event is still active doesn't mean you'll be able to finish it before the time runs out. Dynamic encounters can differ in terms of how progress is shared between players and what sort of objectives you need to do to complete them. There are two ways for your progress to be shared across multiple players, and they are visually distinguished on the map by their icon: Group Shared and Encounter Shared. Each dynamic encounter falls into one of 5 categories in terms of what type of gameplay objectives you need to satisfy to complete said encounter. In our written guide, we have complete lists of all dynamic encounters on each planet with walkthroughs for the more notable ones, where a walkthrough might be of help. Hidden chain invasions are currently available on 4 planets with separate encounters for both Imperial and Republic factions. If that should change with future patches, the written guide linked below will be updated accordingly, of course. To complete the dynamic encounter, players must call in military support from their faction, contribute towards defeating enough members of the hidden chain, and reclaim a combined 25 planet-specific goods that the hidden chain is trying to steal. Once you've collectively completed all 3 of those objectives, you can call down a hidden chain lieutenant, which is a champion enemy that has a few generic attacks, but doesn't hit very hard. The Hidden Chain Lieutenant has a chance to drop a random piece of Hidden Chain armor as personal loot. The fitted armor of the Electric Gaze is an entirely new armor set. It features one of the more eccentric helmets in the game and an overall style that quite reminiscent of Iokat, though it's clearly inspired by Marchion Ro and his ship the Gaze Electric from Star Wars: The High Republic. Enemies from specific dynamic encounters in designated regions across Hoth and Tatooine have a chance to drop a specific piece of this gear. More challenging enemies have a greater chance of dropping rarer items. The Hidden Chain's armor set enables you to wear the exact same uniform as the rest of Hetoko's forces. The Hidden Chain Lieutenants you fight at the end of Hidden Chain invasions have a chance to drop individual pieces of this armor set. The Dark Initiate's fitted robes is a full set to go with the purple chest piece of the same name previously offered on the cartel market. Individual pieces of the fitted Dark Initiate robes have a chance to drop from enemies at dynamic encounters in Mos Ila on Tatooine. There are currently 3 mounts obtainable through dynamic encounters. The Frackled Loth Cat Kitten is the only mini-pet currently available. At the moment, there are no secret achievements associated with dynamic encounters. Once you get all of these achievements on a given planet, you get the meta achievement that comes with a mount. For more details, check out the written version of this guide on VULKK.com. Thank you.